Right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump back into this. Now you can see the screen that I'm sharing with you. That's a picture of me. My name is Rebecca Lamar. I am the Manager of Higher Education Initiatives here at the Pennsylvania Key. My contact information is listed. My email address is reblam@pakeys.org. And my direct line is 1-717-213-3733. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into our content. So the first thing that I really want to share with you is that it takes the efforts of so many of you to be successful in the career pathway. It takes early childhood educators, early childhood leaders and administrators. Those are individuals who own their own program, our family care providers, and those that are in administrative roles within center and corporate settings. We also have institutions of higher education, our colleges and universities in Pennsylvania, and our community organizations. A perfect example of that would be our professional development organizations, or our PDOs. And of course, the Pennsylvania Key, who seeks to support the field and connect them to viable resources, and OCDEL, who sets the priorities, the policies, and the procedures to really support our early childhood education leaders, teachers, business owners, and administrators. So what is a career pathway? Pennsylvania's early childhood education career pathways is defined as a set of shared competencies, skills, and knowledge that guide the early childhood professional toward their goals in the profession. While these competencies are attainable through various paths, and there are several skills that are needed to care for and promote the learning of young children. And when we preface the term young children, we're really looking at a P3 framework, which is prenatal to third grade. The career pathway is a tool to support the early childhood education profession in entering the field prepared for success by growing the existing professional's capacity to move up in the field if they choose to. This is the Pennsylvania Early Childhood Education Career Pathway. And this particular document can be found on our pakeys.org website under the Career Pathway tab. So when we look at what Pennsylvania's base is in career pathways in ECE, this tool is used to define entry-level qualifications and identify steps one can take to make sure that they have the skills, knowledge, and competencies needed to fill their desired role. If you look at this particular document, you have a shape that looks like the shape of a shield that identifies the qualification. In the rectangles below the shield, you have roles that someone with this qualification could do, and specifics about qualifications on this particular level in the ECE career pathway. Educators can use this tool as a way to map out where they want to go, what their next promotion might be. Some interesting and useful resources that were referenced to create this document, we'll talk a little bit more about in the PowerPoint. One of those documents is the National Association of Education for Young Children Degree Finder, and also the 2014 Teacher Quality Document 2.0. As I said before, we are going to go more in depth as we continue on in this webinar on both of those resources. So as we look at how one should navigate the Pennsylvania career pathway system, there are a few things that I really would like for you to leave this webinar feeling confident and aware of. So the first way that we use this system is to identify entry points on the career pathway in early childhood education. Some of you have been in Pennsylvania in our field for a very long time, and some of you have just started in your career in early childhood education. And many times in the past, we may have asked you for some information to identify who you were and how far you went in your degree work or your college work. But this particular career pathway system looks to pinpoint and create a benchmark of where your starting point is as of now in the career pathway system. And to do that, we use the PD registry. And the PD registry identifies the career pathway level based on the education, based on the role in which the person has at their site, and the Pennsylvania Key Career Pathway Profile Assignment, which is done by our verifiers, our members of our staff here at the Pennsylvania Key. So once an early childhood educator uploads their staff qualifications into the PD registry, that would include transcripts of your college degrees and college credits, and the information is verified by the Pennsylvania Key staff, they will receive a notification via email that they have been placed on the career pathway. This will allow the early childhood educator to see where they currently are and lay out opportunities for growth if they are interested. This is an example of the certificate that is given once a professional has uploaded their transcripts, their employment information, and their personal information. The level identified on the certificate is valid for 1 year. So this is my personal career pathway level certificate. Again, you will see at the close to the bottom of the certificate, it does list the date it's valid to, from 8/23/2019 until 8/31/2020. Different ways that you can use this certificate would be potentially as a director or an owner. You may want to share this information on a parent information board or just on a staff information board for individuals to know the different levels that your staff is identified as. You may also use these in higher education opportunities. This would be a fantastic additional resource component to a CDA portfolio. And this certainly can be helpful when you are working with your STARS quality coach in being able to identify and be very aware of the idea that your staff has gone into the PD registry and completed their profile, and identifying where they are in the career pathway level. So you did hear me earlier reference the NAEYC degree finder. You will see on this page that it is, the website is very direct and easy to find, degreefinder.naeyc.org. This resource certainly can be used for guidance about degrees attained or degrees that you plan to attain that clearly align with early childhood education degrees or equivalencies as they are verified in the career pathway. When you go to this website, and you are navigating throughout the website, you can look for Pennsylvania specific schools. You can look specifically for 2-year schools, 4-year schools, and additionally look through graduate programs as well. So this is a very helpful resource for directors in giving guidance for those members of your teaching team that are looking to advance or go to school for early childhood, as well as If you have any questions as you're looking through qualifications, as you're onboarding new members of your team, to really see different programs as they are represented and found on this particular web page. So I'll leave this up for one more minute in case you do want to copy that website down. The next resource that we talked about was the 2014 Teacher Quality Document 2.0. So I want to spend a little bit of time talking about this particular document. As you can assume, based on the name of the document, this document was created in 2014 and has had some revisions and adjustments. However, if you access this document today, the first page of this document will have some information about different sections and their validity to the career pathway level system. So on the first page of the document, it will say this version of the teacher quality document is undergoing revisions to reflect the current STARS system and standards. Therefore, some information may no longer be relevant. However, guidance on qualifying for the Career Lattice remains current. This information can be found in the following sections: 3.4, related and equivalent degrees on Career Lattice; page 6, 3.5, degrees earned from business, technical, and trade schools, again on page 6, and 3.6, counting credits, found on page 7. So at this time, we're going to go a little bit deeper into the Pennsylvania-based ECE career pathway, and we're going to spend some time really looking at qualification achievements. So this next document is a copy of a PDF chart that can also be found on the Pennsylvania Keys website under professional development, and then highlighting the tab career pathways. The PDF link for this is actually found underneath the graphic that I showed you at the beginning of this webinar with the shapes that look like a shield and a rectangle. But you would have to click on that link to be able to see the expanded version of this document. So this is the web link to get directly to the Pennsylvania's ECE career pathway and qualifying achievements document. Again, as I said, it's available on the career pathway page of the Pennsylvania Key website. So at this time, if you have any questions, I'm just going to take a 30-second moment to let you type in the chat. Again, I'm not going to answer those questions right now. However, I will be looking at all of the questions at the end of the presentation. And again, we'll be sending out an FAQ document that will list the questions and the answers, as well as the links to the resources that we've already talked about, and a copy of the PowerPoint. All right, so we are going to first look at the entry level. And again, just so that you're following what I'm doing in the next several slides, I'm actually taking a rectangle from the PDF and having an expanded conversation surrounding each of the levels, including the plus status. And we'll get into that a little bit later in our presentation. So the entry level is identified as an individual who is not yet meeting rising level A. So what I think is really important to highlight about entry level as a career pathway level is that if you have a member of your team in your center or in your program and they have a degree in geology and they have no coursework related to early childhood education, they would fall in the entry level. Again, as we're looking at this as a tool to help professionals plan the next moves in this career and in this profession, this person that would start at the entry level would then have many different options to look at and to consider as they plan their professional development and their growth in the field based on their need to go to receive early childhood education credits at a college or a university, or consider looking at the option to complete a CDA. Additionally, as our Commonwealth is looking and evaluating the effectiveness of this system, there may be additional options as we move forward in the considerations for our early childhood education professionals. So a rising level A would be an individual that has enrolled in a CDA program, has completed the CDA coursework, but has not completed the CDA application, verification visit, or test for the CDA. This also would encompass somebody who is enrolled in the school age professional credential, enrolled in an OCDEL approved certificate or credential, or enrolled in an ECE program, or someone who has taken 6 early childhood education credits. So again, someone who may have a bachelor's degree in geology, but also took a course on language and literacy with infants and toddlers as an elective, and may also have taken social emotional development with young children. Both of those courses would be identified as early childhood credits, and they would have 6 ECE credits, and therefore would be a rising level A. A level A would be someone who holds a current CDA certificate from the Council for Professional Recognition, a current school age credential, or someone that has completed 9 early childhood education credits. I want to make sure to emphasize the word current. That means this is somebody who has a CDA that is not expired. This person also could have a school age credential that is not expired. If someone has taken 2 early childhood education courses in college and has completed their third 3-credit course, they would not be a level A because they need to have completed and have a grade for 9 early childhood education credits. And typically 3 credits would align with 1 college course. So let's take a look at Joanne's career pathway. So Joanne is an after-school program supervisor. She has a bachelor's in communication and is enrolled in her 2nd class toward her master's in early childhood education. Joanne would be a level A. So looking at the level A plus, A level A plus is someone who meets level A and has also completed the following: 12 or more ECE credits toward an associate's degree in ECE and has made progress toward degree achievement in the past year. So that would mean that they have done more than the 9 credits, but they are continuously working toward not only the 12, but possibly the 15 ECE credits that they would need. Additionally, a non-regionally accredited early childhood specific associate of specialized business, or an ASB, or an associate of specialized technology. Those are degrees that typically come out of trade schools, or a level A and currently has one of the following: someone who has their director's credential, someone who has the infant toddler mental health endorsement, someone who has an infant toddler credential, or someone that has participated in the apprenticeship and has completed their apprenticeship and has their certificate. So let's look at Marsha's career pathway. Marsha is an infant teacher and works at a child care facility. She attended 1 year at a university but was not able to complete her degree. Out of 30 credits she earned that year, 14 of those credits were verified as ECE credits. This would make Marsha a level A plus. So I just want to talk a little bit about the significance of a plus level. So a plus level is achieved through making significant progress toward the next career pathway level, or adding an OCDL approved certificate, endorsement, or credential in a specialized knowledge area. So when we're looking at the plus, and we are encouraging our early childhood educators to move forward to the next level in the career pathway, the plus serves as an interim as someone is looking to progress from one level to the next level. The plus status should not be as an option instead of moving up in a career pathway level. So if someone that you are working with has done significant coursework in early childhood education, but they're not sure that they want to continue in early childhood education, that would be an opportunity for you to have conversations with them about looking to attain the plus level status. So it's very important to understand that the plus should not be focused on to take the place of the next level, but it is certainly there to identify those individuals who are working diligently in the coursework of early childhood education and are working toward the next level. One more point that I wanted to present is that when we're looking at defining what significant progress is, one of the easiest ways for us to consider and think about is that significant progress would be looking to attain more than 9 ECE credits. All right, level B would be a regionally accredited ECE focused ASB or AST. Remember, those are certificates that come out of our trade and business schools. Someone who has an Associates of Arts or Associates of Science in ECE. Someone who has an Associates of Arts, Associates of Science, a Bachelor's of Arts, a Bachelor's of Science in a related field, and I will get to what degrees are marked as related field in just a minute, with 18 ECE credits. An associate's or bachelor's level in an unrelated field with 30 ECE credits. An elementary ed degree with 12 ECE credits. So one point to just make about someone that has a degree in an unrelated field, but may also have 30 ECE credits. Many individuals in our field may have started in one place and have started to go back to in a different profession and now have made a decision in the last couple of years to look at getting a degree in early childhood education. That might be the case for them, and they might be established as a level B as long as they have 30 ECE credits, even if their degree is in an unrelated field. Okay, so this is a list of degrees that are considered related in a related field. This list comes in accordance with DHS definitions, and this list was also pulled from the teacher quality document that I referenced at the beginning of this webinar. Business, child and family studies, education, home economics, family and consumer science, human development, human services, liberal arts studies, nursing, psychology, recreation, sociology, social work, special education. So let's look at Rocco's career pathway. Rocco is a family child care provider. He has his associate's degree in child and family studies. He has 18 ECE credits verified within his degree. This would make Rocco a level B. So looking at level B plus, an individual who is established as a level B plus meets all of level B requirements and has completed 12 or more ECE credits towards a BA or a BS in ECE, and has made progress toward the degree achievement in the past year. So note the fact that we're highlighting that there is work being done in the last year. That is what we're looking at in terms of progress. Or someone that meets level B and currently has one of the following. And I just want to make sure that we know that some of these might have an expiration date on them while others may not. So make sure as you are looking at the details of one of your educators' information and transcripts, that that's something that's going to be considered when they are being verified here at the Pennsylvania Key. So as long as they have a current director's credential, infant toddler mental health endorsement, infant toddler credential, a current school age credential, or the apprenticeship completion certificate. So level C is an individual that has a bachelor's in ECE, someone who has a bachelor's in a related field with 30 ECE credits. Again, those could be within the field, or those could be somebody who has taken additional credits with another institution or at another time in their educational journey. Someone who has a degree in elementary ed with 18 ECE credits. And this is particularly important, a degree in any field with a pre-K to 4 certificate that is current. Also, this certification has to be a Pennsylvania cert. If you have somebody on your team that does have a certification through another state, I would encourage you to look on the Department of Education website to learn the procedure to get that certificate transferred so that it can be listed as a Pennsylvania certificate. So the level C is an individual that meets all of the level C plus is an individual that meets all of level C and has completed 12 or more ECE credits toward their master's degree in ECE and has made significant progress towards degree achievement in the past year. And I think that this might be something to think about if you have members of your teaching team that have taken some time off from being enrolled in a college or university. So just think about that as you are looking to support them in completing their profile on the PD registry. Additionally, a level C plus is someone who meets level C and currently has a current director's credential, infant toddler mental health endorsement, an infant toddler credential, a current school age credential, and apprenticeship completion certificate. Just note on the C plus that those 12 or more ECE credits should be going towards a master's degree in ECE to be classified as a level C plus. So let's look at Vespa's career pathway. Vespa is a kindergarten teacher in a child care center. She has her certification in pre-K to 4. She has a bachelor's degree in elementary education, and she has an up-to-date director's credential. This would make Vespa a level C plus. So when we're looking at an individual who would be a level D, this is someone who has their master's in ECE, or someone who meets level C and has achieved a master's degree in a related field, and that would go back to the list that I shared with you earlier in this webinar. A master's degree in elementary education with 18 ECE credits, a master's degree in any field with a current Pennsylvania pre-K to 4 certification. One thing that I want to share with you is that there are no plus levels for D and E. So there's no such thing as a D plus or an E plus. So a level E is someone that has a PhD or an educational doctorate in ECE or an ECE related area, a doctorate in a related field, and they meet level C or level D. So on this particular slide, I did show you level C requirements and level D. So we'll just quickly go through. Level C would be, in order to have a level E member of your team, it would be someone who has a doctorate in any related field, but also has a bachelor's in ECE, a bachelor's in a related field with 30 ECE credits, a bachelor's in elementary ed with 18 ECE credits, or they have their pre-K to 4 Pennsylvania current certification. Someone who has a doctorate in a related field and has their master's in ECE, or has achieved their master's level in a related field, a master's degree in elementary ed with 18 ECE credits, or a master's degree in any field with a current Pennsylvania pre-K to 4 certificate. Remember, those acceptable related degrees include business, child and family studies, education, home economics, family and consumer science, human development, human services, liberal arts, liberal studies, nursing, psychology, recreation, sociology, social work, and special education. So I am just going to take another 30-second pause to give you an opportunity to type questions in the chat. Remember, we're going to look at the questions at the very end of this presentation. We are in the last portion of the presentation. And then we will also make sure to have for you the FAQ document with questions and answers, a PowerPoint, as well as links to all of the resources that we have discussed. All right, so the next couple of slides talk a little bit about frequently asked questions that we have gotten as we have implemented the career pathway level system. These questions can also be found on the website under career pathways as questions with the answers underneath them. So the first one that I want to talk about is, if I have a foreign degree, what should I do? So individuals who hold a degree or a transcript from outside the United States need to have their degree evaluated from an approved organization. So the website that is listed on this slide, NACES.org, is actually a list of many different organizations that for a fee will evaluate the diploma or the degree from outside the United States. So I want to talk a little bit about what you can expect when you go to this website, and I want to talk a little bit about the pricing of getting an evaluation. So the first thing that I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is, when you go to this website, there are approximately 12 organizations that are listed on there. And when you click on each organization, it will take you directly to their website. When I have clicked on all of those websites, I was able to identify that, generally speaking, a general evaluation for the purposes of having placement on the career pathway system generally are between $100 to $125. And that would be a one-time fee that would give your educator an evaluation as well as a translation of their degree. What is very important for me to share with you is that if we receive a document that is just a translation of a degree, but it has not been evaluated, we will not be able to accept that as evidence of your degree work. So the one that many of the individuals who have already been placed on the career pathway level, the one that typically we share and have them refer to, is the International Academic Credential Evaluators, Inc. And as I said, those the cost for a general evaluation is $125. Once again, for the purposes of being placed on the career pathway level, a general evaluation is fine. For an individual who may be interested in then taking courses in a college or university in the field of early childhood education, they may decide to get the comprehensive evaluation that actually breaks down course by course the equivalent. Another organization that is highly regarded in evaluating foreign degrees is the World Education Services, and for a general evaluation, that is a $100 fee. Now, individuals may submit a letter from the institution of higher education that they attended that translates in a degree earned. However, what's very important is that when an individual is looking to submit a letter, there are some different requirements that need to happen to be able to accept that letter. And that includes a translation of the letter, all of the courses taken. The document would show the semester hours for the college credits, and it would have to also show the student's cumulative GPA. For some individuals, this might be a better option then going for the evaluation, the general evaluation from an accredited organization. However, once again, I want to preface that this is something that could be used for career pathway level establishment, not necessarily something that you would be able to use if this individual is looking to continue their education at an institution of higher education, a college or a university, to continue their studies in early childhood education. I would certainly suggest that you help the student reach out to that specific higher ed to understand their requirements. So the next question is, if you feel that you were not placed correctly on the career pathway level, there's actually a procedure to follow if you would like to appeal your career pathway level. A form is available in the PD registry section of the Pennsylvania Key website. And this form can be filled out by an early childhood educator or by a representative from an early learning resource center, an ELRC, or a professional development organization, PDO, on behalf of the early childhood educator. And there are more directions on the form in terms of where you need to send it, what kind of documentation is needed to have that appeal form reviewed. So the next question is, what will happen to their career lattice? So early learning resource centers will continue to use the career lattice at this time for Keystone Stars designation and education and retention awards until further notice. Additionally, early childhood educators that have met the expectation of a particular career lattice level will be honored at that level by being grandfathered into the career pathway level that is equivalent, as long as it is verified within the determined timeline. So if, for example, you were at one level in the career lattice, but now in the new system, you are identified as a different level, certainly I would encourage you to contact someone in the PD registry, and I will share that contact information with you in just a moment, to just let them know what the scenario is concerning the specifics of the career lattice and now the career pathway level. So the goal of this webinar is to really share with directors and ECE leaders the importance of having your educators and your team getting placed on the career pathway. So I want to go through the step-by-step procedure on how to do that. First, make sure to log in or create an account in the Pennsylvania's PD registry. That website is papdregistry.org. Next, you need to complete your profile by filling out the following information. There are several tabs. There are 5 tabs that you need to fill out on the PD registry. Your demographic information, roles and ages served, employment, your compensation. You do have the option under compensation to opt out of listing your wage or salary, but you either need to report your wage and salary, or you need to check the box that says that you choose not to share that information. Otherwise, that will stop the process from you being placed on the career pathway. Additionally, after compensation, you need to work on your education tab, meaning that you'll need to include all transcripts at various different levels of your education. So if you've been in this field for 24 years and you have gone to 4 different colleges and you have 2.5 degrees, we want you to upload all of those transcripts. And there are uploading options on the PD registry, and that system is very user-friendly in terms of giving you direction on how to go about uploading that information. then you would click the button that says submit my profile, my career pathway, and then our verification team here will look at your transcripts and verify you. They are very good at sending out emails to you if you're missing something, if they've received your information, and of course, once you've been verified on the career pathway level system, they will send you an email about that, and then you will be able to print out your certificate. The last thing that's super important to know about the career pathway level system is that you need to upload and update your information annually. I know for several of the individuals that you may support, they might be diligently knocking out credits in early childhood education. I certainly would encourage them to go on and upload those transcripts at the end of each semester if they want. But it is only required to update that information annually. So where can you find help with the PD registry? So the PD registry wants to support you. And so these are various ways that you can get assistance from them. You can visit the PAKey website and look at the PD registry tab. You can email the registry at registry@pakeys.org. You can call at 1-800-284-6031. And you can certainly like them on Facebook, facebook.com/PD registry. So operating hours for the registry team is Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Just remember, because everyone in Pennsylvania is looking to get their career pathway completed. They want to get all of their profiles situated and updated. So if you are unable to directly get in contact with someone, make sure when leaving a message to have your name, your contact information, including your email, the organization where you are working, your employer, and your registry ID number. Or if you're unable to find that, the PD registry team can help you find it. If you are sending us an email, it's really helpful to put specifics about the reason for your correspondence and make sure that you put the primary reason for your message in the subject line. An example for this is if you have a question about your career pathway, you would list that as the subject question with career pathway level, or perhaps you have issues with updating transcripts. Those are examples of subject lines that would be helpful in making sure that we navigated you to the correct person to help you with whatever is happening on either end. So you probably are aware that we are asking a lot of questions when we have you go in and complete your career pathway and complete your profile. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about why we are collecting so much data. So data collected in the PD registry is shared with our partners, funders, and policymakers to increase funding so that the numbers of high quality early childhood education programs rise and a knowledgeable, skilled, and better compensated ECE workforce develops. So like many other states, Octal is using the PD registry to collect data on our workforce and professional development system. Through the registry, we can understand what credentials are being sought, what wage range we are working with, how that has changed over time, and we can also track retention. This allows us to better understand regional needs, particularly when it comes to professional development and credential and degree attainment. In turn, having this information can inform planning, evaluation, and assure quality assurance and accountability across the state. So at this point, I'm going to give you several minutes to type in the questions. I am going to look at the question bank and provide answers to as many as I can, but also I want to just remind you once again that an FAQ document will be coming out in a few weeks, just to give you the question and the answer as they have come in. All right, so give me 1 minute so I can pull that up. Okay, so I'm just checking and making sure everybody is hearing me. I am back live and I am answering some questions. So several of the questions in the first part are questions regarding information, technology, and not being able to see. Let me just give 1 second so I can go down. Perfect. All right. All right, I have the first question. What is someone graduates and will move up before the certificate expires? Do they go back in and update? You can go back and update at any point while you are working on your degrees or while you are completing degrees or early childhood education credits. That's absolutely an opportunity for you to, as directors, maybe provide some guidance so that maybe every 3 months you have your staff at least take a look at those and update their transcripts, particularly those individuals that may be currently taking courses. Okay. Career level 5 is something less like B or C. Correct. So our career lattice level 5, that would be correct. If you look at the career lattice document, and that is a resource that you can access on the PA Keys website, certainly there is an alignment that way. Also, when you first go onto the PA Keys website under career pathway and you see the infograph that shows the shields as well as the rectangles, it does give you a little bit of guidance in terms of how career lattice levels translate easily. Also, if someone has taught in the school district as a classroom assistant, how does that count experience being over 20 years or plus? So research would indicate that the degrees and attaining early childhood education credits is what we're focusing on in terms of establishing a career pathway level. I would say that currently at this time, the way that we are establishing a level is based on degrees and coursework achieved. That is not to say that in the future, that may be a priority to look at experience as well. Somebody had asked, are you supposed to have this in everyone's file? I would say if you have the ability to print these certificates out and have them in the file, I think it could be a really great resource in guiding the work of your quality coach, as well as anyone who is interested in going back to school or looking at their options in terms of moving up in a career level. That is a great way to have that benchmark in their file. If someone has completed their degree and do not complete any more courses, Do they need to upload the transcripts? Yes, we need you to upload the transcripts of each degree, but if they are unchanged, you do not need to update the same one year after year. What you would do when you would upload it, or excuse me, what you would do when you're updating your profile on an annual basis would be confirming that that information is correct. So it will still take you through all of those tabs to complete, but if nothing has changed, then you would not need to do anything on your end. You would just continue to the next tab. Can directors input their staff information in the pathway? Most do not have copies of their files and do not have technologies to scan and post what's needed. So this is a great way for directors to serve as guides to their teachers to upload their personal information. I understand that in some situations, particularly with technology, particularly with technology understanding of what that is, it certainly may be easier for a staff member to bring you all of their education and you do it for them. I would like to encourage all of you to guide your staff member, guide your teachers to do it on their own, because this also will empower them if they choose to go back to school, if they choose to want to move up in their career pathway level. That connection to technology is continuously going to be a part of that process. So it may be a great idea for directors to have individuals bring them the information, but then coach your teacher, your staff member to go through it using their own information, their own login, so that they go through the steps with you coaching them rather than you doing it for them. Can Pequots training hours be counted toward education? So that is another great question. So currently you heard me talk a little bit about the PDOs, the professional development organizations. If you have a college or a university, or if a professional development organization, a PDO, has that as an option, then that may be something, but those Pequots hours need to fall within a credit-bearing course or the apprenticeship model. Hourly trainings are not necessarily counted toward the career pathway level system. Can you upload an unofficial transcript? That's fine. We don't need you to do an official transcript. However, note that the verifiers here at the Pennsylvania Key need to be able to clearly identify the name of the course, the grade that was given for the course. It needs to be identifiable on the college letterhead, as well as verifier may email you back and ask you for more information about the course if they are unable to distinguish how much early childhood education content it might have. Do pre-K4 certificates have to be instructional 1 or 2 certs, or can they be private academic, nursery, kindergarten certs? That is a question, Michelle, that I do not currently have the answer to. So that is a question that I can follow up on. In the next slide, I'm just going to share the next slide with you, so that Michelle, if you would like, you can email me directly that question, and then I will research that and be able to connect with you fast. So I'm gonna pull 3 or 4 more questions, and then we have gone over our 2 o'clock time. But again, I wanna remind everyone that I will be sending out a frequently asked questions document that include all of the questions with an answer. So the next one is for foreign degrees, if they get it translated by the granting university, institution, do they still need it translated by the NACES.org website? So if it has been translated by the granting institution, I would encourage you to upload it as a transcript, and then that would be a decision that our verifier team would make, the verification team would make. How do we get grandfathered into our current career lattice level? My career pathway is not the same. Robin, if that is the case, then I would have you fill out an appeals form. Remember, the appeals form can be found on the pakeys.org website under PD registry, and then that will tell you all of the things that are required for your appeal to be reviewed. This last question that I'm going to take is, how long does it typically take to verify submitted documents such as transcripts? I believe it is up to 60 days. However, depending on different aspects of the verifiers and what is happening on our side, we say 60 days because it would not exceed 60 days. Also, please remember that if you've submitted documents and we have received those documents and then we corresponded with you that we needed other documents, that 60 days really goes from the last interaction that we have had with you stating that we've received your documentation and it's under review. So at this time, I would like to thank everyone for joining us on this webinar. We will have another informational webinar on some upcoming projects that we are working on in career pathways in April. So I will certainly send out an announcement about that. Additionally, I again want to thank you for all of the hard work that you do every single day to ensure high quality early childhood education programs. My contact information is on the screen right now, so feel free to reach out to me. Again, I will be sending out PowerPoint slides as well as the FAQ document with the links. I do wish everybody has a great rest of their day, and thank you for participating in our webinar. Have a great rest of your day.